A man at the supermarket witnessed something terrifying. People were frantically stripping the shelves bare, fighting over supplies as the scene spiraled into chaos. At first, he just found it odd. But on the way home, he noticed ambulances swarming the streets in numbers far beyond normal. He didn't realize it then. Danger was already closing in. He rushed to stock up on essentials, but just as he turned to pack his things, the TV cut to an emergency broadcast. A new virus was spreading nationwide. The media insisted that simply wearing a mask would be enough to stay safe. That night, his sister, an official in the government, called. Her goodbye was brief, almost cryptic. The truth was far worse than what the news admitted. The virus was far deadlier, and the government had already built secret shelters. She urged him to leave the city at once. He immediately booked a flight. But at the airport, everything fell apart. The check-in system crashed, and moments later, every flight was canceled. Panic erupted in the terminal as people screamed in despair. Then, every phone in the crowd buzzed with the same alert: nationwide lockdown. All travel suspended. Heart pounding, he called his sister again. She told him to go back home and wait. She'd send someone for him. On the way back, he saw the streets barricaded, soldiers blocking every route. He abandoned his car and ran the rest of the way. Near his apartment complex, soldiers pinned down a neighbor and dragged him into a transport truck. It was then he understood people weren't just sick, they were changing. Escape became his only thought. But the next day, his sister's call carried even darker news. The virus was spreading faster than anyone imagined. She warned him to avoid quarantine zones. The more people around, the greater the danger. She promised to come once the area was abandoned. When he returned to the supermarket, the shelves were stripped bare. Even scraps on the floor sparked fights. He managed to grab a single pack of food, only for an old man to snatch it from his hands. All he left with were crumbs of broken crackers. As he turned to leave, a wounded cop stumbled inside and locked the doors. Before anyone could react, a second officer was dragged down by an infected attacker. Screams filled the air. He wanted to help, but froze at the sight of the creature, twisted, almost zombie-like. Another officer finally shot it down, but the relief didn't last. The wounded cop began to change too.